Hello, my name is Robbie Fitzwater. I own and operate Marketing Rhythm. We help e-commerce businesses with retention marketing through email and SMS. So one of the questions we get asked all the time is, hey, how do I measure success? Or if I work with you, how do you measure success? Or what does that look like? And we have a really unique way of looking at this, and typically a little bit different than a lot of different groups may have, just in the way we approach things and the way we really focus on revenue as opposed to really any warm fuzzy metrics on the reporting side. So basically, we want to measure success in terms of how many dollars is it going to be bringing into the business, how much value is it creating, and also understanding what your business goals are and aligning those with that business outcome of what we want to track. And also, we want to take you behind the scenes so I can give you an understanding of, hey, what does this look like in the wild, and how this may kind of inform the way you think about your marketing and your email, to think about it a little bit more strategically. So basically, we use those KPIs or important measurements of success to evaluate performance, see and track progress, and then also set goals and expectations. We do this monthly, quarterly, and yearly, just to make sure that everybody has full transparency and understand what they need to know around specific topics, and especially around like basically all of their marketing in general. So let me take you behind the scenes. Let me show you what this looks like, and I'll kind of like walk you through one of our documents that helps us track and understand the progress for each individual client. This is kind of a high level view of things, but should give you some great insights into how to think about this, what you may be wanting to look at, and then how you can incorporate something like this into the work you're doing, or what it would look like if you worked with us. So come take a look. So here's a peek behind the scenes at what our reporting document looks like. This is kind of a stripped down version. We customize this for every different client we work with, but basically this is kind of how we start to break things down on a monthly basis. So basically, high level view of strategy, understanding what we want to be doing to drive that business value. And I always like to start with this. We always love to keep this there, just to kind of reframe things to make sure everybody like has clear alignment on goals. So from there, what we typically like to look at and how we start to look at this and break this down for an individual business is, hey, we have a measurement hierarchy we're going to focus on. We have a few different layers of that measurement hierarchy, and that's where we really want to make sure that we're measuring the right things, understanding the performance of each individual piece, so we can understand how the performance of email impacts the business outcome we want to drive. So basically, each month we are looking at a few different things. So from the perspective of email revenue as a whole, we look at this under the performance category. Like I mentioned, we have value-based metrics, we have performance-based metrics, and below that we have engagement-based metrics. If you guys want to dive into our measurement hierarchy, we have a blog post around that and a video around that. It kind of breaks things down. So high level view of the North Star we're looking at is our value-based metrics. From there, we're looking at our performance-based metrics for how we're doing on it on the team level. And then basically at the individual level, we're looking at those engagement-based metrics to see how we're winning and losing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So those performance-based metrics, this really gives us a strong understanding of, hey, how is the work we're doing as a holistic unit helping to move that business outcome forward. So for a majority of the work we're doing is we're focusing on driving revenue, and we want to be driving revenue from repeat customers, again, retaining those repeat customers and nurturing them so we can have a higher and higher lifetime value each month. So from here, we look at email revenue as a whole for the month. We look at also percentage of revenue from email as a percentage of total e-commerce revenue. We also have the campaign revenue and flow revenue. We want to understand how these break down so we can understand how they're making that business impact, but also if for whatever reason we're not seeing the performance we like, we know where we're going to need to start to like dive in and adjust. If one of our flows, one of our metrics, one of the API connections stops coming through, one of our metrics stops plugging in with Klaviyo, we want to know that so we can address that, so we can make sure that we can get our flows addressed and adjusted as quickly as possible. We have another way of kind of diving into that too, but this is a good high level view. And what really is helpful about this is if I'm an email marketing manager, or even if I'm a marketing manager, or somebody upper in your organization or somebody in your finance team isn't going to care about opens and clicks, or again, for that matter, likes, comments, shares for social, but they're really going to care like, how is this driving revenue? And basically this is going to prove and show that we're moving in the right direction. We're seeing upward trajectory. Again, there's some seasonality to this, but we want to be seeing an improvement month over month. And seasonality aside, we want to be seeing positive momentum and positive movement here. From there, we're also looking at, hey, what does this look like on a seasonal basis? And this is just taken directly from Klaviyo, but basically this gives us an idea of what can we expect, how we're going to drive peaks into our, again, revenue projections, but also, hey, how well is this working as a whole for us to get customers in the door, get them purchasing for the first time, and then keeping them coming back. So if we can keep them coming back and keep them engaged through content, it's going to validate a lot of the work we're doing on the email side and building new automations and building new flows. And we want to see both of those growing in conjunction with each other. Again, like you can see, there is some seasonality for every business, but we want to be understanding how we're approaching this so we know we're not going to lose our minds because February is a slow month. We want to understand how well are we doing there, and then also continually increasing that, experimenting and exploring in those months where it's a little bit slower, and then using that insight into fold into the work we're doing in the busy months when we're hopefully, we're farmers. We got to be planting, growing, and then harvesting during those busy seasons. So that's what we want to be doing there. Then again, this is that kind of value-based metric we want to look at too. This is high-level view of returning customers, number of orders from returning customers, amount of revenue from returning customers, and AOV from returning customers. So we're going to measure these monthly, and basically if we know, hey, we're getting more orders from returning customers, we're having a good AOV from those returning customers, or that AOV is not dropping off completely. If we can bump that AOV up, that's one of our outcomes we want to drive to. But also, if this is high and this is high, this is going to be high too. So this really gives us those high level view performance-based metrics of, hey, how much revenue are we driving from those repeat customers, and how much can we expect to see each month? Or, hey, I'm looking at last September. This gives me a good idea of how we performed last September relative to this September. And I have a really great understanding of, yes, we're moving in the right direction. We want to be growing. We want to be moving these numbers. And email and SMS are the strongest levers we have for actually doing those two things. Then we're going to be looking at, again, kind of a holistic view of revenue from new customers, revenue from repeat customers, just to give a visual feel. And then we're looking at flow revenue month over month. This is not all the automations we have, but typically for some of the higher revenue driving automations for clients, these are some of the better performing automations. So we incorporate these into our monthly reporting. So if we know one of these just falls off, hey, for whatever reason, our back in stock automation isn't firing properly, or for whatever reason, we change the code so that back in stock automation isn't even showing, nobody can even sign up for it, we're going to know, and that's going to give us a good insight into how we can adjust and change, so we don't go months and months and months without addressing that. And that really helps us to keep our finger on the pulse of the business, and really helps us understand where are our automations, how are they performing, and ideally we want to be experimenting with these too, so we can incorporate new insights and value created from them into what we're doing in the next round. And then just like, again, this is for a monthly view. This is a high level view of like where those flows are at for each individual month. Again, we will consistently see some seasonality, but we want to be seeing these numbers going up. So like this September relative to last September, like this group's making a good amount more money. Again, we don't want to show what those numbers are, but these are again performing at a high level. So really helps us understand how we can start to leverage all of these things to incorporate into our marketing. So like I mentioned, there's going to be some customization to these based on the business. Like for a lot of businesses, we focus on this same range of the performance-based. We're going to be looking at number of subscribers. We're also maybe looking at list growth. So like if they have a subscription-based product like coffee or tea, we're going to be looking at number of subscribers added, because that's going to be a kind of a high level business outcome, because that recurring monthly revenue from those subscribers is really strong. So basically, depending on the business type and the business goals, that's how we're going to be focusing these. Like I said on here, you're not going to see opens and clicks on here, because again, opens and clicks we're going to use more internally as directional indicators to say, hey, if our opens and clicks fall through the floor, we want to be working to address that quickly but directionally, like a client or a group isn't going to need to know like the nuts and bolts of every little thing. Again, we can provide that, but for the most part, we want to give a high level view here. So everybody has actionable insights to know, hey, this work is going good. We've got green light to keep moving forward, and things are moving the direction we want them to move in. And at a high level, that's really what we want to be providing here. So, like we said, nothing in this is exceptionally revolutionary. We just really do focus on connecting, again, the work we're doing in email with the business outcome we want to drive. Um, Again, like I said, opens and clicks are not going to feed anyone's family. So, we need to be focusing on higher level goals and really thinking strategically about how to move those high level goals forward. Again, what's unique about this is we try and make it easy and accessible for lots of members of your team to understand and ingest, but also, especially with each specific business we're working with, what goals we want to drive forward and how do we want to be moving those in the direction we want to see. This really helps us to understand how to unpack an e-commerce business and see how to create the outcomes we want to drive. Because at the end of the day, we want to be moving this e-commerce business forward. And especially on the email side, it's a little bit easier to measure in many cases. So if you have any questions, let us know. Again, we love talking shop on this. We'll even link up a sample document of this that you guys can take and run with. So however you want to use it, you can download it, use it as you want. But basically, this allows you to start to think about this from the perspective of your business and hopefully take it and run with it. Or if you want to know more about us, reach out and we can talk shop anytime. But hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this gives you the insights you need to start to measure email marketing in a little bit higher, more nuanced level. And if you don't have anything else, this is Robbie Fitzwater and with Marketing Rhythm, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.